What's up, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Party XP. I'm your host, Jeff, and joining me back from his long vacation is Lakan. Say hi, Lakan.
What's up, everybody? Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you may have noticed the title and the number of this episode. You might have noticed the number of the last episode and realized that we skipped a step. So we wanted to do something funny for episode 69, and so that's kind of where we're at. But first, Lakan, you had a lengthy vacation, so talk to us. How was it? What did you do? Why were you out there? And you know, let us know how everything went.
So I took my first solo international trip. I've traveled with my family, you know, when I was a kid, right, to the Philippines and, you know, Asia in general, right? I went to Serbia for Tim's wedding. I was his cum.
Tim is our friend, and please explain cum.
Cum is not in the colloquial American slang term. I don't even know if that's the right words or not, but you know what I mean.
I think it is.
Maybe. The cum, K-U-M, is basically their term for best man. And is a connection that goes both ways between Tim and I. And then the kuma is the maid of honor to the bride. So same thing. There's a cum and the kuma. And I was filling in basically for Gabe. Gabe wasn't able to come out. Obviously very difficult to get out for military stuff, right? But me, a couple of other friends came through as well too. And we had a good time over in Serbia. It was cool. I got to spend a week out there. The first time I ever took a week for myself in anything. Actually, 2 weeks technically. I actually took the extra couple of days to recover when I got back. But yeah, no, it was a good trip. Stressed right in the beginning because I missed my fucking transfer flight right in the beginning.
Oh.
I went to Istanbul first, but the plane leaving from Newark left about an hour late. So I missed my transfer.
Wonderful.
I got put up in a hotel, though, free hotel and a free next flight out in the next morning. So I was in Istanbul for a night, only for, whatever I got put at the hotel. Really nice hotel room. Also, Istanbul, like all the toilets in Istanbul had fucking bidets. That was awesome. That was sick. Like I got to shit like a king.
Right.
You know, really nice bathroom, really nice shower. What was that?
Are you telling me that other countries treat consumers with respect? Is that what you're telling me? Put you up in a free hotel.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. They took care of me. Actually, I got a short funny here. So I was in line waiting for this thing, right, for the service desk, right, and there's a bunch of us who missed our transfer flight. A lot of people didn't, but there was like at least like maybe 30 to 50 of us on our plane that missed our transfer flight because of the delay. I was just waiting there. This dude in front of me walks away from the desk like super annoyed and angry, and he was like, he's an American dude, but he's a Korean American, right? Okay. But he had he still had like a really thick Korean accent. And he was like, "Yo, man, good luck. You know, I'm not gonna imitate the accent. I can't imitate. I'm not good at doing the Korean accent." But he was like, "Yeah, man, good luck." But then these people barely speak English, and I was like, "Dude, you barely speak English." So
you're the foreigner. What the fuck?
Like, yo, man, I get it, bro. Like, yeah, it sucks we could miss our fucking transfer flight, but bro, like, be nice to people trying to help you, and they'll be nice back to you. You know what I mean? It's like, don't be that asshole.
Or fuck them. Because they don't speak English outside of America.
Now hold on.
Because
here's the thing.
I'm an entitled American.
Because he leaves the lady he was working with. I walk up to her. I already am trying to break the stereotype of the stereotypical American. Okay.
Yes.
I had my phone out with a deep L. I translated. I missed my transfer. I needed the next available flight for Serbia. And I just showed it to her. It was translated to Turkish, right? And she speaks. Honestly, her English was perfectly fine. Like, I don't know what this dude was on about. Like, this dude was just an asshole. I was like, okay, yes, sure, whatever, dude. So they hooked me up with the new flight the next morning. Tells me to like go outside of the airport, or not outside the airport, but outside of the particular area that we were in, to like the main area, and go to like one of the hotel reservation booths for the Turkish airline airport, and they brought us out to a hotel. Again, very nice. I was like, but I was so beat. So like I got to the hotel, dumped all my stuff, started charging my Steam Deck, my phone. I told who I needed to like because Tim and Mills were supposed to pick me up. I was like, hey, heads up, I missed my flight. I'm not gonna be there tonight. Do not go to the airport. I told my Airbnb host, and then my pops. I told my dad, hey dad, my flight was late by an hour. I missed the transfer. I'm in Istanbul. Here's the hotel room. Really nice. I'll see you in the morning. You're like, I'll talk to you in the morning.
Right.
So like I get like a solid 2.5 hours of sleep because I had to like get back because like by the time like I was at the hotel room it was like 10-ish 10:30. They still gave me like a free dinner, but I was too tired to go get it. I was like, I'm just gonna pass out. I don't care. Because they also gave us like a little snack bag, like some apples, some juice, a couple bottles of water. I was like, okay, well, whatever.
God, it's like that would be like a luxury here in fucking America. Dude.
Also,
That's
Turkish airline, their food is really good on the flight itself. Mm-hmm. They had really good food. So yeah, I passed out for like I take a shower, I shit like a king. I enjoyed the bidet as many times as I possibly could.
I'm sure.
I wake up like 2.5 hours later. I'm like, okay, pack my shit back up. You know what I mean? I didn't take everything out. Obviously, only took like a new set of clothes, my chargers, all the necessary shit. Right? Packed it all back up. Got back to the hotel lobby. They gave us a little breakfast bag of like a sandwich, some fruit, and another juice box and some water. I was like, oh, awesome, cool, we're good. Yeah, it's like an hour and a half to Serbia from Istanbul to Belgrade, and yeah, Tim and Mills picked me up. Awesome. We hit the ground running. We hit the Airbnb, dropped my shit off, and we just started walking around the area. Really nice. And then, like Aspara trickles in like later on that day, and then Zach and Allegra come in later in the week. And yeah, man, it was just a really good time. Like really good food, really good people. Like everyone there is very nice. Again, like a lot of people did speak English, but even if they didn't, they would, especially like at the store, they would just like show me like a calculator or their phone how much something costs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So again, everyone's very nice and accommodating. I learned like survival Serbian.
Nice.
So just basic stuff. Like thank you,
help, I'm bleeding,
I'm sorry, where's the restroom, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to see my first pro football game. The European football game.
Oh, you've never seen soccer?
No, never. I've been trying to get something going on here, but just schedule-wise for me is always kind of rough, right? But we went to who was it? It was the Red Stars. That's like Belgrade's main team, I guess. I think they have two teams, like them and Partizan, and then Portuguese team. I forgot what the team was, but it was the first game of the Champions League, the Euro Champions League.
Nice.
So it was cool. It was fun. There was riot police everywhere, so that kind of freaked me out a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, soccer overseas is nuts.
Yeah, like the culture is obviously very, very different, but it was cool. It was very cool to experience it. You know what I mean? It's like, and if I was ever gonna watch like a soccer game, that is like the way for me to like experience my first one. That's pretty awesome. It was pretty sweet to experience it that way.
Yeah, my first soccer game was an MLS game, so it was definitely it's super fun. I mean, when they get like the chants going and all that stuff, it's so cool. But like to go see like a European or like a Hispanic, like a Spanish speaking nation play, I feel like that's the way to go. Like USA, say what you will, but like soccer's definitely not a top sport. Over there it's definitely a top sport. Like I'd love to go see like a Liga MX game in Mexico or go see like a Premier League game overseas. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, it was really cool. Like there was like for us, for the us being Yankees fans, the bleacher creatures, right?
Yes.
Now imagine
the only
that
way to watch baseball.
Now imagine that is just an entire quarter of the stadium.
Yep, the supporters section.
Just chanting these giant flags. A flare got lit up, like crazy, insane. Man. Unfortunately, they lost. They lost. Well. They lost 1-2. But it was cool. They scored like late in the second half, so there actually could have been like a comeback. They were just so slow to set up their set up on the opponent's side of the field, and they would just get collapsed on as soon as they started to actually run a play. But it was cool. It was a good time. Militza's brother wanted to bring us to the Red Star Partizan game. That's like the North versus South Belgrade team.
Oh yeah, the rivalry.
And she's like, absolutely not. Like, refused to let us go to that game. We're like, okay, I understand now that I saw even just what the Serbia, like a national team versus a different nation's team kind of going on. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm cool with just seeing that. I don't need the insanity of like a rivalry team going on.
Yeah, going to a derby, which is like when the main rivals play each other in soccer, as like your first soccer game would have been absolutely fucking insane. So it's probably better off that you didn't go, but it would have been really sick.
Yeah, would have been just get thrown to the deep end of
Yeah, man.
enjoying like European football culture. But yeah, man, again, it was just really good. The town, the part of the town I was saying, it was really nice. Like a night market, an open kind of walking pedestrian zone kind of thing going on. I ate a lot of like burek, which is like a meat pie basically.
Hell yeah.
Everything they just do bread and meat and cheese right, dude. Like that's really, like their whole diet over there, bro. Yeah, like I had that. I had cevapi. I had pekara, which is again another type of like flaky bread with meat inside of it. I had like their version of schnitzel, which was like awesome because it was wrapped in like some sort of like young goat cheese. So it was very soft and very creamy, and then deep fried. And just like, yeah, man, like I ate like a fucking king out there. Surprisingly, didn't gain that much weight because of all the walking we did. I think that kind of counteracted it. We clocked in like 30,000 steps a day. My feet were killing me, but like but once you're going, you don't even think about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it was a really really fun trip. Again, it was like too short. We only there for a week, and like 2 of the days got eaten up because again I missed the initial day I was gonna come in. And then, of course, the wedding. The wedding was fantastic. It went off without a hitch. Very fun. I learned like two variations of like a traditional Serbian folk dance.
Nice.
And Tim was up there killing it too. It was awesome. It was good to see Tim actually like dancing. You know what I mean? Because Tim's pretty reserved, right?
Right, of course.
But seeing him like busting out that dance and kind of nailing it, and I was like, oh shit, let's go. You know what I mean? It was really fun to see. Again, ate a insane amount of food. The food was so good at the wedding too. We were having this. Oh yeah, we were also drinking the local liquor. It's called rakia. It's like a distilled like fruit liquor. Made out of like mostly like plum, but they also do like apricots and apples and fruit that we don't have here a lot of. I think it's called quince or quince, something like that. Very good though. Like it's not aged in a barrel, so it's still relatively clear, but it has that like kind of whiskey hit kind of thing. You know what I mean? Mostly nasal. I felt like they kind of burned, but it was good, man. I was drinking that all night, and I got a little tipsy actually during the wedding. It was a good time, a very good time. He had a live band and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
The one thing I was annoyed about though, they had a live band and a saxophone player. They didn't play September. The wedding was on September 21st.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure if that's like a cultural significance thing for us, but like, come on.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm on.
Pretty sure. Yeah, I get it. I do, but
well, like we got to see like a lot of like the big old fortress over there in Belgrade, the Kalemegdan, which is what's basically just taken over by a bunch of different warring nations, obviously throughout the years, right? What is it, like the Ottomans have been through there, the Austrians were there, right? The Romans all kind of took over that area. You know what I mean? So there's like you could see like different historical parts of the fortress where they would add on like which culture was kind of building at the time in that area, kind of thing. It was really really cool. A lot of history. But yeah, again, like was there for a week. Not enough, honestly. I am looking forward to going back. My parents do want to go back there as well too, and my parents weren't able to come due to something that came up. But we're looking forward to doing like another trip, maybe like next year, or the year after. Whenever Tim and Milita, go back to visit her family,
right,
and have them show us around, kind of thing there too. But yeah, it was a really really fun trip. Again, a week. The trip home was pretty, boring for the most part. Like it kind of went. The trip home went without a hitch, basically.
Yeah. Good.
But it's also like the worst part of the trip because you're like, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. No,
like,
I get
here
it.
comes the end of my vacation. You know what I mean? So, and then
back to the salt mines. All that. Yep.
And I had a lot of catch up work that I had to do, and things just were so busy. Like, even when they got home and I had a couple extra days, they were still super busy, so I couldn't really just relax the last couple days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I want to go back.
Right.
And I'd rather be on vacation. I just finished my first week back of work. And I don't want to be here anymore.
No, it sucks. Work sucks.
But yeah, that was my short, not hyper detailed recap of my my Serbia trip. It was a really good time. Really good time. Mm-hmm. Would have liked to have you come along with us, but maybe next time it'd be good if you come through.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, man.
I'm not a travel guy.
I get it.
Especially like going overseas away, like, you know, it's a lot, but you never know. Maybe one day.
Yeah, but you know, it's one of those things like while we were there, it felt kind of surreal at first. You know what I mean? It was like
Right.
because I was there initially with Tim and Militza, and it was like this is real, right? Like we're here, like I'm with my friends in another country, and then Aspera came through later that day, and I was like, shit, this is like this. It's finally starting to hit me. You know what I mean? And
Right.
then later in that week when Zach and Allegra come up and we were all hanging out together, and I was like, this has been one of my dreams as a kid. You know what I mean? Like to like go around traveling, you know, to different parts of the country with my friends, you know, or different countries around the world with my friends. And it was like it was like this nice like a little emotional moment. Teared up a little bit, not gonna lie. I didn't let them see it though, because I can't let them see me being a bitch.
Right. Exactly.
But you know, it was really awesome to have that experience with my friends outside of the country. It was really nice.
That's good. I'm glad you had a good time. So, all right, let's get to it.
How was your 2 weeks without me?
Fine. I sat in my house and raised my child. Like, that's about it.
I mean, that's still good, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been fine,
Yeah,
but like nothing fun, nothing great.
No, kept to yourself. Just handle life stuff. I get it.
Right. So, let's get to it.
Okay.
Because I know people have probably clicked on this and are expecting to hear us just get into the most degenerate of things here, and they probably got the lotion out, their hands are out, they're ready to find some games, and they listen to you talk about your vacation for what, 20 minutes?
Yeah. But they listen to our smooth, sultry voices.
Right. So then that'll do it. But okay, so seriously, we have been planning this episode for months now, right? Because we knew we were getting to the funny sex number. And we were like, what are we going to do? Are we going to play a game?
Do we go full degen? Do we just... What? Yeah, like how far do we want to go and play into this funny sex number?
Right. So I think we kind of settled on doing something a little closer to what we've done in the past about topic discussions, right?
A little tamer, a little safer.
Maybe a little bit, but I mean...
We'll see where it goes, honestly.
Yeah, we're still gonna get into the weeds here. So this is definitely not one to like have your kids listen to. So like if you're listening to this with your child for some reason, I would skip to another episode. I'd probably listen to another podcast because I mean we get into it.
A little bit.
I don't know what kids are listening to this show. Anyway, so the big thing here, yes. So we're gonna talk about adult focused games, right? And we're not talking about adult focused games that are like, you know, games with mature storytelling. We're talking about like horny games, like sexual games, dude. So like, yeah, we're gonna get into it a little bit. I'm not proud. A lot of these are gonna be older though. Like it's been a long time since I've had to delve into these. As somebody like who isn't just doing it for the laughs, but to be fair, like a lot of these were for the laughs. Even back then, so like. Temper your expectations here. I'm not going to talk to everybody about, oh, well, the animations are great. Oh, the you know, you get to actually sex, things like that. I'm not here to offer gameplay tips. I'm just here to laugh with my friend. Right? I feel like you're kind of in the same boat, maybe a little bit.
Maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit of kind of stuff that I've like played throughout the years, like my first experiences with this kind of stuff. Again, probably not gonna get too graphic here, but there are definitely some like spicier recommendations and some things that I want to talk about for this episode.
For sure. All right, so let's just get into it. What was like your first? What was like the first horny game you played then?
It was some sort of like Kama Sutra like Tetris game that my cousin in the Philippines showed me. I was like 11.
Nice.
But you know, like your older male cousins, right? They'll take you under their wing. It's like, oh, so what do you know, right? And it's like, I don't know. I'm a kid, bro. Like I play Pokemon, you know.
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah, but what about like you ever think about titties? I'm like, what? You know, just
what are
like
tits?
just kind of like like I was pretty sheltered growing up for the most part, right? Like
you didn't have HBO, that's why.
Yeah, we did for a little bit, and then I think like once my parents realized, oh, their show's on at night. Yeah, no, they canceled that shit.
Okay.
No Skinamax, none of that stuff. Basically,
you poor child.
so like my older cousin showed me some like it was a straight up just like Tetris and then like these like little drawings of like men and women in like different positions and you basically line them up and then they like grind for a second and then they clear like Tetris. It was like just but they would also like moan. I remember like him showing us and he would have to turn the volume down on like his computer so like my parents or his parents wouldn't like hear him showing the game to me and Gabe. Like because again Gabe's like 10, I'm like 11, you know what I mean? So it's just right. Okay. Like just like he was just like sharing with his younger cousins, basically trying to be like the cooler cousin, trying to, I guess, share, impart a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of culture.
Right.
How about you?
Okay, so I was probably around the same age, and I was luckily part of that generation that had a computer but no like restrictions on it. So I was on Newgrounds quite a bit.
Okay,
and
I think we touched upon this, but yeah. Okay.
And so it was definitely like those dress up games and things like that, and like the flat, even like Flash animations too had similar kinds of scenarios, like adult things going on in there. So like a lot of Newgrounds stuff was like kind of my first foray into it.
Was it basically like visual novels back then, or what was it back then? Like
a little bit, a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Okay.
But a lot of it was like there's just those dress up games, and it would just be like you just took immediately you would just go in and just like take the bra off and just play with the titties. And stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember. Okay, you're gonna laugh. This is funny as shit. But like there was like a Bulma from Dragon Ball Z one.
Okay.
And you would like click on her like boobs and they'd bounce a little bit.
Okay.
And like I was like, oh my god. And she'd like talk. She'd have like voice lines and shit. Yeah. So that was kind of the first kind of time I realized, oh yeah, like, well, so that was like the first kind of horny game, but I didn't like think of it. I think the first like realization that there were like horny video games was a game. God, I'm gonna get put on a list for this one. Remember that game Rape Play?
No, I did not experience any of this stuff earlier on.
Okay, yeah. No, because like Rape Play came out. I looked it up just to make sure that my like what I was talking about was correct here. So it came out in 2006. We were like 16 years old. So that's like right at the beginning of like. That's like right in the middle of like my something awful, 4chan, ogreish, kind of like on the fringes of the internet kind of like interest. So like it came on my radar, no pun intended. So I was like, wait, there's like a game where you like basically like you rape characters, right? It's like this guy who's mad at the world and he gets mad at this woman, I think, for like the plot, the limited plot that you get. Is like he gets mad at this woman for cutting him off or something, and then he goes and he has like this plan to like rape her and her daughter. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like this is like the early part of the internet still, right? Still kind of into that transition of like Web 2.0, right? We can call it, I think, like around that time.
Yes.
Where it's like, there's a lot of just like really out there shit on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, around the time of like the shock videos, probably, right? Okay, so yeah, this is very like very unrestrained like sexual content on the internet. A lot of mature content coming out. It was very easy to spread around because kids are talking about it, right? Like, so okay,
and then, right. You don't have those safeguards in place, so it's not just kids talking about it. It's 20-year-olds talking to like 14-year-olds on message boards. Hi, and showing them these things. So like I played that. Can I just say that it besides the fact that it's like really like an awful game in hindsight now as like an adult with consequences in life, the game sucks. And I'm like, man, people play this shit to get off. Like I got so frustrated trying to play the fucking game that I just like deleted it, uninstalled it, and like I haven't even thought about it since. But I'm like, damn, people play video games to like get off. Like it takes forever to fucking do anything, man.
Okay.
But that was kind of like my first glimpse into all that stuff. Okay. So like, Not proud of it, but that was it.
Yes, again, I had a really simple Kama Sutra Tetris game, and you over here going to some very, very dark territory with your first gameplay.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like, what was your first? That was your first sexual game experience, then?
Yeah, so like that was when I realized that people like there are interactive mediums for like sex games, and I was like, oh, this sucks.
I get it.
Which was definitely like a big fork in the road moment, because like if I like enjoyed that, I'd definitely be one of those guys.
Yeah, but I think luckily you have a good head on your shoulders, and you realize, oh, this is not good, and you just kind of bounced off of it,
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll go with
that. For me, first sexual game experience, again, not the one that I knew about, but the first one that I actually also played more, I guess, on my own. Do you remember BMX Triple X?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so it was basically just Dave Mirra's BMX game, just with girls and their titties out. That was basically all it was.
You could take the top off of your female characters.
Yeah, and then that was basically it. It was kind of just like a straightforward BMX game, not a good one.
Correct.
You just had their boobies out, and that was it. And then we're
noticing a recurring theme. Sorry, we're noticing a theme with these games and the quality.
Yeah, they're not great, but there's also do you remember in God of War? I think God of War 2. There was like a little sex mini game to recover your health on the boat.
I didn't play those games till I was older. I don't really remember.
Okay, but there was one of those where it was like on the side, like you would have sex with two women, and it would just recover your health. Like it was like between levels kind of thing. It was still like
nice.
It was early on in the game, and that was kind of like my first thing. I was like playing it as like when I was older, when I was aware of what exactly we were getting into, kind of thing. Because again, early on as a kid, it was just like, oh, haha, funny porn Tetris game, but it really isn't that explicit. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't show anything other than a man and a woman on top of each other or whatever. But like the God of War game was implied because it was off screen, and then the BMX Triple X, you got to see full frontal titty. Like I don't think it showed like the lower bits. I think it was just booba on screen.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, I think that was probably what allowed the game to be mature and not like adults only.
Yeah,
probably back then, especially in that like early to mid 2000s, where like everything video games was corrupting the children, and they were fighting to basically restrict more and more shit. You know what I mean? Especially in like late 90s into the 2000s kind of thing. But yeah, that was my first more aware sexual game experience, and even then they weren't even that sexual. It was kind of just like parts of the game.
Right, exactly. I mean, it was just like a feature in the game, and then like it did nothing else in the game, basically.
Yeah, basically. And I guess if we want to talk about a more explicit one, it was probably like an eroge.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like something that like I downloaded from a friend, or a friend gave to me on a disc, and I would play. I'd play on the family computer because all we had was a family computer. Luckily, it was kind of away in a corner, so I could play it and then shut it down. You know what I mean? But yeah, like there's nowhere else. We didn't have a laptop. We had one computer, and that was it. So I just played it there. Probably when I was like maybe 14, maybe 15. And I don't even know what it was. All I remember was like reading a lot. It was a visual novel, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember just seeing like two characters fucking. I was like, okay, cool. That's what this
game made it.
Cool. So now I'm like, I don't care about the reading. I'm slamming next to get to the next scene.
Hell yeah.
Because again, we've talked about it before. I don't like reading. I just want to get to the action.
Correct.
So that's I guess the more explicit game, I guess, compared to the other two that I mentioned beforehand. Yeah, that's kind of it for me. I got like probably around 14, maybe like 14, 15, probably around there.
Yeah, that's definitely around the time where you're a weird, awkward teenager.
Yeah,
and and especially when we were teenagers, like that stuff was just starting to like come out and be like a regular thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That mid 2000s kind of era.
Still pretty niche, right? Still hard to get your hands on it. But like if you knew somebody who was in it was usually older, right? Older friend, older cousin, something. They're the ones who could kind of like, who would like distribute it to you, basically. You know what I mean?
Or I just pirate it.
That too.
like I did with Rayplay. I just pirated it.
I get it. Yeah.
And then I learned how to mount. I mean, honestly, that whole experience taught me a lot. It taught me how to like mount virtual discs so that you could emulate games like that. So like you could play like Dreamcast and PS2 and all that stuff on a virtual machine, basically, for like Alcohol 120% or whatever it was. I think it's still around. And Daemon Tools.
Oh, God.
So it wasn't all for naught.
No, it wasn't only for the horny. We learned.
Didn't even get to the fucking horny. Shitty ass game.
So I've got a question for you here.
Yes.
Because, you know, again, we're kind of playing in this like, little... we're not going hyper explicit here. But like, do games with heavy fan service count as like adult games?
Oh, that's a good one.
I've got an example, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember the Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball game?
How could I forget?
So first off, that game ruled. Like, it was actually like a good volleyball game.
Right.
It was a beach volleyball game, 2v2, right? You get to pick two of the pretty Dead or Alive fighting
Fucking
game characters, right?
They never show you naked. Yeah.
So like, you know, you get to see them, the jiggle physics, right? That's all there.
Always with their fucking clothes on.
And it was just like, it's a straight up just a solid volleyball game with a splash of like extra horny because you got the photo mode, the costumes that you unlock throughout the thing.
Fucking PG-13 shit.
Basically, I mean, but you know, but it's definitely on the the raunchier side of like PG-13. You know what I mean?
Like my daughters, I never want to see. Man, asshole fucking creator, whatever his fucking name was. I don't remember what his name was. Dickhead.
That's why you had to have like the cheat codes, remember, for the fighting games.
Yeah, and the fucking patch the fan made costumes.
Yeah.
But it's not the real thing. It's somebody else's.
Yeah. So like
visualization.
Do these count as like adult games, or do you think they're just like they're a little spicy, but there's nothing? Again, there's nothing technically explicit in these games.
They're not showing any fucking booby. No.
But there's definitely like a connotation to this game, though.
Oh yeah, no, like you get the side eye if you buy like Dead or Alive, like Senran Kagura, Onechambara. Remember the bikini samurai?
Yeah.
Like if I see you buy one of those, especially like when I was at GameStop, I looked at the guys buying the game. I'm like,
rented the game from Blockbuster. You know what I mean? Like, it's yeah. These were games that would have to be. Doing. Yeah.
You could tell me you like the gameplay, and you know what? A lot of these games do have really good gameplay.
They do.
DOA is a fun fighting game.
Yes,
but I know what you're doing.
you're playing this to be horny. Yeah, filthy bastard.
Doing, yeah.
Hard to play games with one hand, isn't it?
Yeah. Speaking of which, like the game that we were going to play for this is like it was like a horny roguelike RPG shooter, right?
Yes, yeah.
And one of like the main selling points was that it had a one-handed mode.
Yes, yeah. We might revisit it honestly at some point.
I honestly want to play it. Like, it seems super interesting.
Like like aside from the horny, it actually looks like a really interesting game.
It does.
I like how now, because like I guess the space has kind of evolved a little bit, or a lot of it actually. You can actually have like a lot of these like, you know, kind of like more fleshed out games, and then they just have like full on hentai scenes in them.
Right. And for a lot of it, you can't just be a porn game because then you get lumped into everything else. Yeah,
just like with all the shovelware, trashy. Just like it's just you know, tits and vag, and that's all it is. And
just come here, get your fucking rocks off, and leave, pervert.
Exactly. But like no, there's actually a bunch of like actual stuff. We'll probably dig into it a little bit more actually later on down in this episode.
Yeah. The game we were talking about, by the way, was Tunnel Escape. It's on Steam right now. You can buy it. It's $20. I think that also contributed to why we didn't review it. Is because like I'm not paying $20 for like a meme game.
Yeah, and we actually kind of want to dig into it because it actually looks like surprisingly good.
And I'm waiting for it to go on sale.
But like how about like fan servicey games? Like, is there anything you played that was like very fan servicey, like the Dead or Alive series? You mentioned Senran Kagura.
Oh man, what was the game? Oh fuck, man. There were other games that I would play, and I'm like, oh shit, this is actually fun. And then, like, I'd always get looked at. I know they did it with Hatsune Miku for like different reasons, because it was like a cutesy kind of anime girl game, I'm, you know, obviously not the person that you'd think to play that kind of game. But Yeah, like the Senran Kagura games are kind of fun.
They're fun.
Like Lollipop Chainsaw is kind of fun.
Lollipop Chainsaw
like,
is a good fucking game. That's just
Right.
a straight up good fucking game. I'm trying to think like other games. Like I remember like Oni on the PS2, where because there's a lady in the like the skin tight leather suit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like there would definitely be some fan servicey stuff. Like even like regular games, they would have like a skimpy costume for some characters right after you beat the game or something. But like it's like but usually those games were already pretty adult themed in terms of like violence usually. And then they was like, oh, here's a little bit of extra, which is I find funny that had to be kind of locked away behind actually playing the game.
Right. And a lot of things too is like fighting games are notoriously, especially like Japanese fighting games, are, notoriously horny. So like you get like the Chun-Li titty outfit, you get like an Armika.
Yeah, Armika, Mai.
Yeah, yep. So you have those things to look at too, and then even still like
Skullgirls, duh, that's another one too.
Skullgirls. I don't know how Skullgirls has a lot.
It was very fan servicey, and then they toned it down afterwards because apparently a new development team kind of took over the game. So they kind of like it's a whole thing. It's a whole rabbit hole, and I just didn't want to get into it anymore. But yeah, no, the whole game was built on like fan servicey kind of shots in terms of all the fighters, basically all the animations and all that stuff. So, but yeah, the wrestling games, that's another one too. No, you're right. Especially because like they were modeled after real people. You know what I mean? Like real female wrestlers who you are like you could have been attracted to, but especially when you were younger.
Right. And like you could always like you could change costumes. You could put them in like okay. Trust tree. Full disclosure. I'm ready to put this out there because it's funny as shit. So like, there used to be a faction called Eminem, right? So it was Johnny Nitro, Melina, and Joey Mercury. Right?
I know Melina.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So the one thing it would be like if you just had Johnny Nitro and Melina together, they would kiss in their intro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back then they didn't have like the hindsight to not put like to not lock wrestlers out of animations.
Oh, okay.
So guess who had like Lita and Trish Stratus kiss like all the fucking time? Yeah, your boy here. Revisiting the game, the first thing I did was have like Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker do it because it was funny as shit.
Yes, and then you were like, wait a second.
Which is like, I think showed my maturity a little bit.
Then we can go further beyond afterwards.
Right. And have Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker kiss, right?
Yes.
But no, that was like a go-to because despite look, we didn't have AI, right? You can't just generate images of people, doing the nasty here. So, I mean, granted, we had internet porn, but like, I don't want to see two strangers make out at that time. I wanted to see Trish Stratus and Lita or whoever it was. I don't remember who, or like Stacy Keibler and Trish Stratus.
Your pro wrestling crushes basically as a kid.
Right, exactly.
I want to see them teenager. Yeah.
I want to see them do this. I want to see some strangers do it. Damn it. So there we go. Trust tree.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
Young teenage Jeff was a fucking deviant.
Yeah, we're just gonna go and just out ourselves at this point. It's fine. We were ready to go to do that this episode.
It's
anyway.
funny as shit.
It's fine.
It's just
it's
funny.
very fun. Especially because like you look back at it now, like graphically, like it looks like nothing like them basically at this point.
Basically, it's just like
it just like blocks. You might as well be holding two Lego next to each other and just mashing them into each other.
Right, because they don't have like lips opening up. It's just like two. Like you remember how the old wrestling games would just like face scan somebody and they'd have zero emotion on them.
Yeah.
So basically, like you said, it's just like slamming like two Barbie dolls together. and so yeah, that was something I wouldn't call it fan servicey, but I would call it like an unintended feature taken advantage of by children.
These are dark times. These are dark times in our childhood.
These were dark times back then, man.
We're gonna get judged so hard for this episode.
I know it's funny.
It's fine.
Care.
We're committing.
It's all fun. It's all for laughs at this point.
Yeah. We can laugh at it now. We're adults. We can like look at it back at this now. But yeah, so like the next question I got here is, do you ever seek them out, like actual like horny games, like mature sex focused video games?
God, this is such a dangerous question. Why would you do this?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No,
definitely not anymore. Definitely not in the last 18 months. Even before, like, for the past like couple years since I've been living with my now wife, like, I haven't for the intended purpose. And rarely, like I said, like I think if things had gone differently, maybe I would have, but I don't look for these games for their intended purpose. I'm only here to laugh
Mm-hmm.
and get into the ridiculousness of these games. It's just something that I find really funny, and like horny games are really funny to me. I don't know what it is. So if I do, like, if I see a new one out there, especially if it's like free, like I'll definitely like give it a spin and be like, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit. So like, okay, here's another thing. Full disclosure, I get a lot of ads for on social media for these G123 games.
Okay.
So they're basically like mobile games that you can only play in the browser because they're too fucking horny
Got
to
it.
put onto
The app stores or whatever.
the app stores, right? So like if you've seen like those Queen's Blade
Mm-hmm.
ads and it's like we can't show you this full game, so we can't show you this, you have to click here. So basically I get a ton of ads for those, so like I'll just be like, all right, let me just look at this, like what the fuck is going on here.
Just
Vivid Army.
a little bit of investigative journalism, if you will.
Yeah, and again, and then it gets to the point where I'm just like I know what mobile games are like. You have like the giant tutorials that are going to take you like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I just want to pull.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to pull for the
I
character.
want to see.
art.
I want to see how insane the art is, basically.
Yeah, I want to see how far the art gets.
Mm-hmm.
And it never happens because the tutorial just takes forever.
I get it. So yeah, you're not really like looking for these. I mean, yeah, again, you're actually in a happy relationship. You're mostly looking for like the goofs and the gaffs around it, right? Yeah, that's perfectly fair. I don't personally look for games either, like for like horny games altogether. I've been recommended like eroge, like the adult visual novel stuff from friends. I have friends who do enjoy that stuff, and they'll send me out something, and like I'll start playing it, and then usually I don't. Just it takes too long to get anywhere.
Exactly.
The unga bunga brain in me doesn't want to read.
Exactly.
One of the eroges I started was a game called Chrono Clock. It came out like 2017, so this is years ago. And I just didn't care for it. It just takes too long to get into the real story. I mean, there's a big hit right in the beginning of it, and then it's like, okay, now to go through the roots, and I'm like, I just don't care. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunately, just my like desire to not read any of these games is just so damn strong. That's kind of my whole spiel about visual novels. You've heard me talk about it before too. But there are other games that like I ended up like finding down the line. Like there's a game called Future Fragments. I'm pretty sure I might have talked with you about it offline before.
Yes.
It's like a Metroidvania kind of like platform shooter, and it's pretty sick. And then I remember just like I was looking at on the store page right on Steam, and then like just click right on the little preview, right, little preview screens and shit, and then there was just like a full on like her just getting banged by some sort of alien creature, and I'm like, oh, it's one of these games. And I was like, wait, but the game looks so good. You know what I mean? It's like
right.
it was genuinely surprising to me. So I ended up like putting it on my wish. I was like, let me just see what's up with this thing. You know what I mean? Eventually comes out, and then I see the reviews are actually pretty good, and people are like genuinely praising like the gameplay and the story. And I'm just like, cool. I guess I'm actually gonna play this at one point to like enjoy it, I guess. But yeah, like I don't go around looking for them, but like occasionally I'll get recommended something on my Steam with like for you page basically.
Right.
And then like I have no qualms around it. Like I'll just fucking wish list it and then buy it if it's on sale. Why not? You know what I mean? Especially if the reviews are actually like, oh no, it's a genuinely good game. You know what I mean? Like there's no, if it's just like one of those like puzzle games, like not even like a puzzle game with like actual mechanics. No, it's literally like a fucking descramble the picture game. It's like why would I bother with that? You know what I mean? Like I'm actually looking for gameplay at this point.
Yeah, no, that seems like the worst kind of torture. To be like, I have to figure out a puzzle to see boobs. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, and like I think the Switch store is kind of like filled with that right now. Like I don't know if you've been on there recently, yes. And it's just like Nintendo is just not filtering their shit anymore at this point. I feel like and the console, and there's just like loads of hentai games, and they're just like again like just slider puzzles or like brick break, and then then you can see like a hentai picture behind it.
And a lot of visual novels, like a lot of those are visual novels.
Well, some of them I hear are actually pretty good, but again, I just don't want to fucking read. You know what I mean? I'd rather just be rewarded by the art or whatever. But but I mean, like it's out there for people. You know what I mean? I know people who do play a lot of like eroge and like galge on Switch just because the availability is there. But then people play also on Steam just because you can actually download like the R18 patch. On and play your games uncensored on your computer instead of playing it on the Switch, where it will be at least censored a little bit.
Right, and like at least now you have that option to play on like a PC, and they actually look like people. Instead of like Custer's Revenge and like the games on like the Atari, where it's like you have like a like a little like a sprite of a guy with an erection and. Were people getting off to those? I don't know, man.
Yeah,
were people that desperate? They were that down bad?
They must have been, man, because there's a lot of it when you like look through like I've gotten like weird like deep dives on old like hentai games basically, and yeah, it's just sprite work, and it's like it's all like first off, some of them are like genuinely very good. Some of them are like hyper detailed and shit.
Yeah.
But then there's some that are just like they move like 3 frames and that's basically it. And I was like, huh, this is all people needed back in the day. It's kind of wild.
I guess so, man. What a life.
Right? The technology. We're in the future now.
Right? Now I just put a VR headset on and have like...
And play orc massage or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. And feel nothing.
God. I remember when I bought my VR headset, that's all I got. Friends are like, oh, so you're gonna play porn games, right? I'm like, no, I'm actually trying to play like actual fun shit. And they're just like, no, like we all know you're getting it because you're a degenerate. I'm like, no, I want to play fucking Half-Life. I want to play fucking Boneworks and shit. But like, no, we know you're gonna watch it. We know who you are. We know what kind of filth you're into. You degenerate fuck.
Damn.
Maybe not that extreme, but my friends were trying to call me out and shit. I was like, come on, man. I'm just trying to fucking have fun. I'm actually trying to play real games. Okay, so getting us back on track here. Have you ever played a game that you thought was a regular game and then the mature content came out of nowhere?
So, not to the level that like you're talking about, where you're playing the platformer and all of a sudden like just some tentacle monster comes and rapes your character, right? No. I will tell you that Wolfenstein has like a sex scene out of nowhere in it. The Wolfenstein remake.
Yeah.
And like it's a really like not mature in, well, I guess mature in like the content, but in the storytelling, it is really mature because you have these two people who fall in love, and even though it is like a dire situation, apocalyptic situation, you wanna knock ugly sometimes, right?
Yeah, I get it.
So they just go into like a bathroom or whatever sort of back room, and they start humping, and everybody outside hears them. But number one, like it came out of nowhere, and then number two, like you kind of think about it, and it's like, yeah, I guess you still want to get your rocks off even when Hitler's taking over the world.
Or when you're playing as Hitler and you're banging the other Axis waifus, basically. Have you seen that list of games?
I feel like we've done this.
It's an entire series just called Sex with Hitler.
Yes, okay.
It's insane. It's absolutely fucking nuts. It's hilarious, and I'm kind of curious.
Oh yeah, no. See, this would be up my alley. This would be like
just absurdity. Just how absurd the premise of the game is.
This is absolutely
it's like a third-person shooter, I think it is, right? Or first-person shooter, whatever the hell.
It's like a top-down. Yeah,
top-down. There you go. So sure. Yeah, it's just really fucking weird. But there's multiple games in this series. Clearly, people are buying it.
The hose doesn't go there. Psychological horror, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess seeing Hitler coming is kind of horrifying.
With his rock hard penis, just right there. Just yeah.
This is fucking hilarious, dude. All right.
Just gonna put that in the shared account.
Hitler bunker BDSM. Okay, I'm in. I'm in. Let's do it.
Oh god. Yeah, for me, Yeah, it's actually surprising for the Wolfenstein game. I didn't realize that they actually would have that kind of in there. But I can understand like the whole like, what is it like the perilous kind of like, what is it called, like the suspension bridge effect or whatever the hell it is. You know, you put two characters in like a precarious situation, and then they like, you know what I mean, they become attracted to each other that way.
Sorry, I'm just watching this GIF of Hitler and his assistant Christoph, and Christoph is pinching
God.
Hitler's nipple with like a giant like forceps.
Oh God, oh no.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I've lost Jeff. I've lost Jeff to the fucking rabbit hole of sex with Hitler.
Fucking funny. It's so fucking funny, dude. Holy fucking shit.
There's a lot of games to it, man. It's fucking wild. There's a game that I played, again, like not hyper mature content. Again, is a lot like more like ecchi, right? You know, like how like ecchi anime is like, it's like, you know, horny, but it's not full hentai, right? It doesn't show like doesn't show full penis, doesn't show vagina. It's just
softcore.
Yes, it's softcore basically, right? It's a game called Hakoniwa Explorers Plus. I bought it in a bundle like years ago, and I started it up, and then I just saw like Pixel Monster waifu show up, and then like the designs are really cute, but then like one's just strangling you with her ass cheeks, and one is like a lamia, and she like wraps you up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, this definitely has sex in it.
So like, surprisingly enough, yeah, no sex. It's just an ecchi game. It's actually a really good game. It's an isometric like hack and slash action RPG, like genuinely a very good game. The character designs are really cute, and you know it's kind of like it reminds me a lot of like Bastion, like, you know, because you know it's of that, like, you know, isometric camera, right, like the 3/4 camera kind of thing going on, hack and slashy gameplay. But yeah, no, it's really fun. Not hentai, even though it is tagged as hentai. It is just ecchi. Like there's no full frontal nudity, no penetration, none of that in the game. But you know, just cute monster girls in it, basically.
Okay, so I'm on the sexual content what is this? What was it? What's the exact sexual content tab on Steam right now? So two things made me laugh. Number one, it's like, hey, you like card games? Here's a bunch of, you know, lewd card games. And I'm just thinking to myself, holy shit, it takes me like 2 minutes to do my combo in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I gotta wait all that time. Like I'm just imagining doing like a full dino combo just to get like something naked on my screen. And I'm like, fuck, man, that sucks. Oh, what if I don't have baby Ceratosaurus? Like, what am I gonna do? And then the top demo that just popped up here, I guess it's one of the newer ones, is My Femboy Roommate. So there you go.
But now femboys are kind of having their time right now. It's kind of it's like I see a lot of content around it on like Instagram, on like YouTube Shorts. Hey, like whatever, man. All the power to them if they want to be out there, if they're doing their thing.
I know. I think it's just a lot of those people that are just coming to grips with themselves. Mm-hmm. I think it's good for them.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of
they're living their truth.
Like because what was the old memes of like in like the late 2010s? It was like was it? It was like goth IHOP and like femboy Hooters.
Yes.
And like, you know, people back then were like, oh yeah, goth IHOP, sure. Femboy Hooters, get that shit out of here. Now it's like, you know, it's kind of coming around for a lot of people. And there's, you know, a lot of people will like actually play into the joke about it, or like just kind of, again, come to terms with their own sexualities and their own presentation of themselves. They're like, yeah, good for them. I'm still a tomboy enjoyer, but you know, good for you. Okay, I've got one here for you. Need you to stand your ground on something here, okay?
Yes.
What is a sexual game that you genuinely defend as a good game? Like a sex-focused game.
Okay, so I've never played any of these games and thought, wow, these are good. I will say, like we talked about the fan service games, like DOA is actually good.
Okay, so
DOA is a really good deep fighting game.
We'll roll it a little bit back to a fan service game. Okay, that's fine.
Right. That's like the furthest, like basically that's the furthest that I've gone to find a game
and fully consumed the game, basically.
Right. Okay. Outside of just like laughing at it, right? DOA is actually good. DOA is actually really fucking good. Like, and the fact that it doesn't look like we're gonna get a new one for a while is a tragic loss for fighting games, right? Because those games are genuinely really, really good.
Yeah.
As far as a lot of these other games, like I have a lot of hope for that game that we were just talking about, Tunnel Escape.
Tunnel Escape. Yeah, yeah.
Like overall reviews are really positive. It seems like it's a really cool, fun, inventive game. I'm hopeful that like this new era of these kinds of games can actually provide something like that. But to me, you get the horny, and then there's actually something deep underneath there for the people that enjoy this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I've never played one of these games and been like, wow, I'm ready to play that again.
For me, the game that I will like hard stand my ground on is a game called Honey Pop.
Yeah, you've talked about this quite a bit.
Yeah, like, well, calm down. But Honey Pop, like, no, genuinely is a good game. It's it's all voice acted. It's not all great, but it's all voice acted. There's a good selections of like different types of women to romance. There's a quiet gamer girl. There's the Onesan. There's the MILF. There's like the Tsundere Ojo-sama. Sexy teacher, flight attendant, exchange students, all like all the tropes basically. They've covered a lot of them. This the scenes are there. They're nice and spicy without being too intense. They're kind of like again like along the lines of like ecchi for the most part, right? Not full hentai. A lot of outfits for the characters. So there's that customization thing, right? We were talking about before, where like you can kind of be a little bit of kind of something you get to choose for your taste or whatever. And like the gameplay for that game for Honey Pop, like again, like I don't know if you ever seen it or if you ever heard of the game. It's like it's basically match 3, and like kind of like Bejeweled or Candy Crush, but there's an extra little bit of in the system where you can extend the amount of turns you actually have to get your point total, and you have to like match certain colors to fill up the affection meter, right? That's a kind of a trope or a standard within these like eroge type of games, right? Or the romancing kind of games. But yeah, like it's genuinely just a really good puzzle game. Like so, like honestly, if they made Honey Pop without any of the horny bits, I'd probably still play it. But like the horny bits are kind of like again they're simple. The game doesn't have a whole lot of reading. There's obviously some romancing. You have to pick the options and shit. Like a typical visual novel, or whatever. But for a lot of it was just kind of me just rushing through that part to go back into like the gameplay. There's again like you have to bring the dates to the right locations. You have to present them with the right gifts. Again, not crazy difficult, but again, the puzzle game is actually pretty good because there's multiple difficulties. The puzzles actually get very difficult. Genuinely will like die on that hill that Honey Pop is genuinely a good game, not just a horny game for ha-has. It's actually a good game.
Actually, you're gonna laugh at me. I'm looking at this game right now. It's like a 6v6 RPG, horny RPG. I'm like, kind of want to give this a spin.
What's the name of it? Let me look this up right now. We're gonna go ahead into the more free flowing part here, where we're gonna start scrolling. Let's do a little bit of Steam scrolling here.
Yeah. It's called Aeon's Echo.
Aeon's Echo. Okay, let's see here.
And
there we go, uncensored right off the bat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Big old nurse with fat honkers. Okay, good. Oh, it is. Yeah, this is like a grid fighter type of game almost.
Kinda, yeah.
Reminds me almost. I don't. Yeah, let me see what the game movement gameplay.
I'm gonna have to make a new account.
Not the character's movement.
Well, no, you fighter
here. No, you know what, Jeff? No, you have to commit. Add the game to your account and just play the game.
Actually, on public, right?
You can actually hide games on Steam now, so you don't have
That's nice.
Yeah, you don't have to, but if you feel so inclined to do so, go ahead. What is the gameplay like? It is a grid fighter. Yeah, it is a grid fighter. Okay, what's the term for these? It's like when it's like the team focus when we did is it like it's all placement based?
Yeah. So like is it Legends of the Heroes that has a system like this where like you have like your front row and your back row and like you have different sorts of abilities based on where you are and things like that.
Yeah, like turn-based tactics, turn-based strategy, with again like the formation is the big point focus of the gameplay. Oh, it's free.
Right.
Honestly, this actually doesn't look like a bad game. The art is solid.
Art is good.
Art's good.
All right, here we go. Here we go. We're in here.
Okay, we go. Add to library. Let's just do this.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I'm playing it from the library of Lakan. So
yeah, you can add it to your library too. It's free game. Yeah, I mean, like, because if we just scroll through Steam, let's go ahead and just go all in here. Let's see.
Arcade.
Going categories, adult only. I guess that's the one you clicked on.
I found the game. So that Tunnel Escape was on my wish list. So I just clicked the sexual content tab.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, a lot of dating sim stuff with like 3D generated images now too. Like Taboo University.
There's just a game called Hole Dweller.
What the fuck?
Wonder what hole?
All of them, clearly.
Yeah, right. Oh, here you go. Epido. It's like a bullet hell horny game. Horny bullet hell.
Epido?
Epido. EPIDO. Yeah, it's like a horny bullet hell.
It's like a Toho?
Kinda. Yeah. Yeah, it's like horny Toho. Hornier Toho.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Oh, and then you die, and there's her panties.
I mean, like again, like it's funny because it's just like just like a regular shmup kind of thing going on, and like they're just anime girls just on the screen just naked. But like, you know what I mean? It doesn't actually change a whole lot in terms of like what this actually is.
I like the censorship on the one of the other Epido games.
Just have the cat on there.
Yeah, the cat.
The cat's funny. just over their breasts or whatever. All the naughty bits. That's funny. Yeah, like again, like it's just like surprising, right? Because like I wouldn't think of this like having like an adult version of that type of game. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, to have to play like a bullet hell, like I was saying before, like have to do this complex mechanism just to get to this point. Like it seems like a torture. It seems torturous.
I know one of my friends like plays a lot of like adult only like sex games on.
Well, why didn't we get him on?
Yeah, you're right. I should get him on here. He's a full degen. And it's one of those things where it's like I remember like seeing him doing so, and like he's always online. He always shares what he's playing, and I was like, good for you. You know what you're into, and you do not care what anyone else thinks, dude. I'm still too weak to do that.
Okay, this person is right up. This person's right up my alley because this sounds like definitely a game. If it wasn't $25, that I'd be like, yo, all right, we gotta play this for the laughs. Okay, listen to this.
Okay.
Chronicles of Lancelot. Embark on an adventure in the world of Arthurian. Have fun with hot and handsome knights. Rescue the prince. Do all kinds of funny gay stuff. And become the most fabulous gay knight in this NSFW RPG game inspired by Arthurian legends and Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Like you can't write that blurb and make it not want me to play this game.
Yeah. Like now I'm just
all kinds of funny gay stuff.
Now I'm just curious. Like what is in their words all kinds of funny gay shit?
And then like what parts are Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
What parts are there limit breaks in this game?
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like it. Honestly, it looks like Final Fantasy 1 through 4. You just have like HP and MP and it's like really simple. Oh no, you have skills. So like yeah, it's like a kind of a fleshed out RPG, but everybody's just got a big hog and you can do funny gay stuff.
Again, their words. Yeah, like again, like there's always been kind of like a plethora of like RPG Maker games that have like hentai involved, right? That's kind of because I remember you mentioning it. That's basically what a lot of Newground stuff was, right? Because I never dove down that rabbit hole. So, but like taking your word for it, and I did scroll through a little bit, like I have to like search it up for this episode for us to research. I was like, huh, there is a lot of sex stuff on here, like a lot of sex RPGs.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit on here, dude.
Here's one that I actually saw. I wanted to add to my wish list actually. There's a game called Flip Witch, Forbidden Sex Hex.
Okay.
This actually looks like insanely good. Like it's like a Metroidvania again, like a platformer type of game.
Yeah, there she is.
This looks really good.
It does look really good.
Animation's really smooth. I mean the bosses are giant dummy mommy witches basically. Yeah, kind of sick. Like again, this is a game that I feel like, again, if it had like a non-adult version, I would probably be playing this just on my account already.
Yeah, the art is actually really fucking good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Again.
Oh, I get it. So like she switches between like a male and a female character.
Yes. Yes.
And you can interact with things based on. That's actually really sick. Oh,
right?
Fuck, dude. We're gonna have to play this game. Fuck.
I feel like we have to. Overwhelmingly positive for the reviews, and very positive for the people who are not scared to share their review on Steam.
Yeah, let's see what they have to say here. That's a nice,
really fun game, regardless of the loot.
Apparently,
really?
Yeah,
that's one guy. He's that's one guy. Everyone else says it's really good. Like one guy here says it's a fun game regardless of the loot. Like the gameplay itself is really good, and the music's really good.
Right.
Good game in its own right. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like a lot of this stuff like tends to stand on their own now. Like the not safe for work content now is kind of just again like a little bonus for the people who like end up looking for this stuff in the first place.
What is this? Hack and slash action RPG from the Taimanin fame. This is insane.
Adding to the wish list. Which one?
This actually look. Oh, I just smacked my microphone.
You got too excited.
I know. Here we go. Yeah, the Taimanin games. These.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
This looks kind of. Oh no, it's just another puzzle game.
Taimanin?
No, the one is like a hack and slash.
This looks like a. This looks almost like one of those 3D action games where it's like Zenless Zone Zero or the Mihoyo. There's the Hoyoverse games in general, like where you're kind of using magical spells, and then like using specials after that. You know what I mean? Very like Senran Kagura in that kind of aspect.
Definitely,
I guess.
Definitely.
But I see there's like cooldowns and stuff, and then everyone there is just just ladies with giant knockers.
Well, they had to get you in the door.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, yeah, again, like this is kind of like I don't want to say it's kind of like a figured out formula, but this is like a thing, right? Like people will like. It also kind of helps that there are legitimate games that have this type of gameplay, with a hint of spiciness to it. Like we're talking about like the Bayonetta games, right? Again, like Lollipop Chainsaw, where they have it's like an action game. With a lot of fan service, and then this is just essentially just like the next step, basically, right?
Right. So instead of like the gameplay with a hint of spicy and sexy, it's sexy and spicy with a hint of gameplay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe I don't know. I'm looking at these combos; they actually look kind of sick.
Right.
A nice balance is always appreciated, right? Where it's just not because again, as we said it before, it is no longer the low effort kind of shovelware type of games now with just like horny built into it. It is now just like a game with horny, but the game itself is actually very good. It stands on its own.
Oh, here's a good one for you. Look up Monster Girls Labyrinth. Like this is up our alley.
That sounds very up my alley. What is Monster?
Turn-based hentai dungeon crawler. It's got nice pixel art.
Slime girl. Okay, good. Cat girl.
Oh, and all characters are over the age of 20, not 18.
Good. There we go. Yeah, the art has its own kind of charm to it. I like it. The attack looks like the time-based attack of the Mother series or Undertale,
bit,
right? I'm assuming you have to hit right in the middle to do damage.
Yeah.
Again, games with gameplay is the focus, and then horny is just add on top of it.
Just horny Undertale.
Yeah.
First person.
It looks like it, yeah, right?
And then fuck them.
No, yeah, I just got that tagline in the video. Oh god. Again, they're not lying to you. They're just giving you everything that you want up. They're letting you know what's going to be in this game up front.
This is the best. This is so funny. I'm so happy we did this. I don't know if anybody's going to listen to it.
It's just going to be us just again glad. Scrolling through Steam and just looking at all the degenerate shit we see on here.
I'm so glad we did this. These are so fucking funny. I hope we get like if anybody listening to this has recommendations, like
honestly, send them our way. I'm genuinely curious to see what y'all are interested in. I'm genuinely curious.
I will fucking play these games, dude. I will fucking play these games. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I will fucking play these games. Like,
there's always been an audience for these games, right?
oh yeah.
But even more so now, where you've got different types of games now. It's not just visual novels. It's not just RPG style games. It's not just kind of it's not just like point and click adventure type of stuff. No, like there's genuinely like full on life sim stuff and like puzzle games, and again that full on action game looks kind of sick. Like that one game that we were looking at before. We have like a wide variety of like puzzle games, action games. That 6v6 grid game actually looks pretty sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right?
Like these are games that I genuinely would play if like if they were on my phone and they just had the regular ass game. They were like, hey, by the way, play it on your computer. There's an 18+ mod. I'm like, oh, cool. Why not? You know what I mean? I don't need to do it, but if it's there, sure. I'll dip my toe into it once in a while to see what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it completely. And, again, I think it just comes just from the way that I've been interacting with these games. And I think the thing that hurts my enjoyment of these games is because I've always seen them as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're like, hey, this is really good, I'm always going to just laugh at it.
Yeah. Because the absurdity of it, especially of us like growing up gamers and like, no, video games are not for horny. It's for fucking wrecking your friends in Halo and teabagging them. You know what I mean? It's like we've never had that regular connection to this side of like the gaming experience, if I could say that, I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like, again, for me, it's like, it's always been a joke. And I know a lot of the games, so like I just passed one here. Opie, Succubus Academy, Sucky and Busty. Like when they play into it, like
I just scrolled to that one too. I just saw it.
I'm just gonna laugh at it. Dude.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna laugh at it anyway. So like, thank you for making it as ridiculous as like I know these games to be.
Yeah, and clearly it's somebody's like flavor. You know what I mean? Like somebody's buying this to genuinely just enjoy themselves. Fine, perfectly fine.
$40? Fuck you.
Hey, this is no longer just a game. This is an experience, Jeff.
What the fuck? $40 hentai games? That's insane.
Again, we're getting full built out games now. That's the thing.
All right, hold on. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find the most expensive,
like the full AAA like sex game.
I'm gonna try to find this one's $60. Oh well, this has like a creative character, so that all right, that makes sense. But like, I wish I could sort by price. Let's see here.
There was one I was following a while ago, actually. Before we fully wrap up here, there's a game called Subverse, where because I saw it has like spaceship like outer space gameplay, and like tactics gameplay, and then there's just full nudity and sexual content on top of it. Again, just not that I was just intrigued by it when I saw it, and then only reason I never followed up with it is because I saw that the reviews were pretty bad. So I was like, oh well, because again, because the whole point is I'm looking for, if I'm gonna go down and play some of these games, hopefully the game's at least decent. You know what I mean? Like, because again, it's like the novelty of the sex wears off relatively quickly because we are in a world where it's just so readily available in general, right? Where like I'm genuinely just curious to see like what can they actually bring to the table in terms of like something new in terms of gameplay and integrating it somehow with the mature content.
Oh fuck! I think there's a rhythm game portion in this.
I saw that. There was one.
Koikatsu Party.
I think one's like a furry one. I saw that too.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't know if it's that one. Yeah, not our cup of tea. Clearly,
I'm pretty sure this company, Illusion, is the company that made the Rape Play game. Because I remember them.
I've heard that name before. Yeah, like yeah, I've heard Illusion as like a major.
Sure they're the ones
company
that made the Rape Play game.
Oh, there you go. They're still
around. It all comes full circle.
Full circle. They're still making they're still making content for all of the horny gamers out in the world.
Yep. With a lot less rape.
Hopefully, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, I know. Not great.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, like, I think that's all I've got for here on my end. I mean, again, we could scroll on Steam all we want. And we're never gonna get. I've been scrolling for like a good 5 minutes. I still haven't hit the bottom of the barrel.
No, you're gonna be there.
There's a lot. There's a lot of this.
Yeah, like if you look, like there's a ton of shit that came out just this year, let alone 23, 24, like 22, 21, 19.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. I haven't seen a game past 2019. Yeah, no. You're gonna be scrolling for an eternity here.
Yeah, man. Again, the fucking rabbit hole is deep, bro. Like,
yeah, no, this is insane.
But yeah, I think that's all got really on my end. Anything you want to add on to here before we head out of here?
No, I really wish there was a way to like play these games
and share our experience with them, kind of thing.
Yeah, like record gameplay of these, because I don't think YouTube's gonna like me playing Bone Town: The Second Coming.
No. I mean, maybe we just make a hub account, I guess. Just commit to that and just put it on there.
Could you fucking imagine if that's been our niche this entire time?
Maybe just playing horny games. I think there's probably like a space there for us to fill.
Yeah, like
get it as in sex. Do you get it?
I got it.
Yep. It's as if we're filling because of us. We're putting ourselves like into that space because that's how sex works.
I don't know if they're gonna let us play Love X Crotch X Gym on YouTube or Kick or anything.
The names are gems. The names are like just genuine gems, though.
Having a hard time. Mage Kanade's Fudanari Dungeon Quest. Lust Epidemic 18+. Oh, there's Hole Dweller again. Wings of Seduction. Bust 'em out. Oh, it's a roguelike for you. Shoot 'em up roguelike. There you go. Horny Warp. Hentai Fantasy. Fuda Fix. Dick, Dine, and Dash.
MILFs of Sunville.
Unreal Lust Theory.
Udonge in Interspecies Cave.
Funny you should mention that. Furry Shades of Grey.
That's good. Helping the Hotties.
My Shameless Stepmom.
Kink.inc. 18+.
Oh, Furry Shades of Gay 2. A shade gayer.
I want to fuck my mom's best friend.
Hazumi and the Pregnation. Oh, here's Castle in the Clouds DX. It's a horny Castlevania. Neji Komi Simulator Volume 2. Gapping, amputee sex slave, petrify, time stop.
I think we're good. We've got a lot here.
Have a good one, everybody. See you later.
Bye. Okay, well, that's gonna be a fun one to edit. My married cousin's need for seed. Oh my god.
Goblin Lord wants me to become a virgin wizard by managing the brothel?
Furry aim train. Wait, what the fuck? This is just an aim trainer. What the fuck? Is this just an aim trainer where you shoot pictures of furry? Yep, that is all this is.
My ass pass to Succubus Sexland. Oh, Furry Shades of Gay 3. Still gayer.
Still going.